ازيكم يا شباب، اخباركم ايه؟ وصلنا لنهاية المشوار. هنحل مع بعض النهارده جزء مهم أوي 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 أوي. الجزء اللي فيه أسئلة بنك المعرفة، منصة حصص مصر، نجوى بلاتفورم. الأسئلة كتير. عايزك كده ماسك ورقة وقلم، ركز معايا في كل جملة بقولها. اقف واسمع كويس، خد بريك لأن دول مش صفحة ولا اتنين، دول حوالي 65 صفحة. محتاجين إن احنا نركز أوي في كل جملة فيهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، كده نبدأ مع بعض. بيقول لي في أول جملة which forms of Do you enjoy most? I like poetry. دايما عود نفسك في الفوكاب، في كي وورد كده هتحل لي كل حاجة. هو بيقول لك I like poetry، بحب الشعر. فالشعر ده نوع من أنواع البرسوناليتي ولا structure ولا document ولا literature؟ أكيد literature. How many words does he try to write? He writes 1000 words. How many words day؟ لا طبعا. How many words days ملهاش معنى. How many words a day احتمال كبير. A days لأ، يبقى هي a day. How many words a day يعني كام كلمة في اليوم. Does he try to write? He writes 1000 words. What does the writer ask opinions about his books? Ask خدنا الإكسبريشن ده. ask for opinions. برافو عليك. When he was 7 years old, the writer won the second in a poetry competition. مسابقة شعرية، لا مارك تنفع ولا جريد ولا degree prize. When he was a student, he could usually finish a short story 2 or 3 days in خلال. Last year, the writer a story because his friends didn't like the end of the story. Uh, changed changed a story because his friends didn't like the end of the story. غير القصة نفسها. Replace يعني إيه؟ كتابتها مرة أخرى. The word means someone whose job is to type letters, arrange meetings, answer telephone calls, etc. in an office. طبعا دي secretary. A publisher is a person or a company that produces books, magazine, and makes them for people to buy. Accessible بتاعت حرف الجر to متاح. Supportable طبعا بعيدة. Fashionable موضة. Available طبعا available for. An attachment is something you attach to send with an email. This word also can mean كلمة attachment ممكن يبقى ليها معنى آخر affection. affection التعاطف أو التعلق بحد. طبعا لا تنفع culture ولا fashion ولا confusion. Would you prefer to write a story, a pen, a pencil, or on a computer? Write a story with a pen. باستخدام. A disabled is someone who can't part of their body. Use طبعا. The word customs means that the things that people do because they are traditional. The law is the system of rules that people must bravo obey. يطيع القانون. The word style means a way of writing that's of a person or a group. Typical of مطابق لي. نموذج لي. A pioneer is one of the first people to do something that others will follow. مفيش follow. Continue تدي نفس المعنى. A district is an area of a town or a city. The word district is the synonym يا مرادفة ليه of the word zone, venue, average, behavior. طبعا zone منطقة. I really enjoyed this book. It's written in a very simple style. The opposite of the word simple, opposite اللي هو الانtonym of the words simple, collective, typical, plain, stressful. Simple style يبقى collective style في مجموعة أشياء collective. Yahya Haqqi came from a poor district of Cairo. The word poor is close in meaning to believable, mysterious, لا greedy بعيدة, penniless مفلس. My brother wants to be a lawyer so he's studying law at university. When he graduates عندما يتخرج. Magdi Ya'qub was one of the first heart pioneer. احنا من غير ما نقلب heart transplant أكيد نقل قلب heart transplant pioneers. In my grandfather village they still follow the same traditional customs عادات اللي هي letter P that he used to follow when he was a boy. طبعا costumes أزياء. Ali's cousin is disabled and can't walk very well. The word disabled means organized لأ specialized متخصص لأ categorized مقسم لأجزاء لأ هي paralyzed زي disabled كده عنده إعاقة. My sister loves clothes and buys very fashionable dresses. على الموضة في حاجات احنا حافظينها. His first job was as a lawyer. job يبقى lawyer لا تنفع له ولا لوز ولا لوفو. As someone who produces book, newspaper, and magazine publisher. My parents gave me a lot of modern short stories for my birthday. A collection. Yahya Haqqi was an important 20th century writer. كاتب. My mother has that children learn best by playing games. Has a belief. اعتقاد. A belief. Although Nawal has she is very good at sports. Disability. Which countries did Yahya Haqqi work? A diplomat. He worked as a diplomat in France, Italy, Turkey, and Libya. وجيب لي حرف جر مركب. worked as in لا worked in as أيوة worked in as worked in France as a diplomat. He wanted to help poor and disabled people and young writers. The word writer young is close to meaning to adolescent, adventurous, infant, matured. طبعا adolescent لو سن المراهقة infant سن الطفولة. 32 collection of stories did Haki win an important prize. بسأل على غير عاقل يبقى for which Haki a prize for a collection of short stories about the poor and disabled. Win a prize يبقى won a prize. Earn it for money, gain for experience, acquired مهارات skills. How do you think Hafiz as a diplomat affected how he wrote? Training, تدريب. What did Yahya Haqqi know a lot about? He knew a lot about Arab culture. الثقافة العربية. Arab culture. After Anne Haqqi gave his hospital bed to a poor person after an earthquake. من أحداث الستوري اللي قريناها عن يحيى حقي. Which one of Haqq's stories was made into a film? How do you think that Haqq's as a lawyer helped him to be a writer? How do you think Haqq's as a lawyer work شغله كمحامي مينفعش works لا طبعا works أعمال فنية وأدبية أعمال هندسية 39 Haqq's probably met many different people and many different and interesting things in his work experienced واجه Haqqi was interested in helping young Egyptian writers as he was a kind man who wanted to help people like himself الناس اللي تشبه Yahya Haqqi gave his pet to a poor person because he saw the poor person needed it more. أكيد لما نيجي نختار هتبقى give in يعني استسلم give with ملهاش معنى give to give up give up his pet to تخلى عن فراش الشخص. It's always important to help poor and disabled people because they need help other people. To طبعا لأ the need help the ولا than more than very good more than other people. Reading literature improves your by learning a lot from both fiction and non-fiction. Your أكيد education. How do you think that a person job could help write a story? Jobs can give writers experiences that they can use in their writing. could help them. عشان persons زي everybody و everyone الضمير بتاعها جمع. 45 jobs such as being a politician or a doctor may give them more experiences. بوصف jobs وjobs غير عاقل يبقى interesting. What other experiences in people's lives might help them? help يجي وراها الفعل في المصدر أو to المصدر يبقى to right. People's ability or help other people, their experience with the children or old people traveling, a good education might help write a good story. People's ability to watch or help other people. Do you think that people should only ever do one job, or is it useful to do more than one job in your career حياتك المهنية? In the modern world, most people do more than one job in their working career حياتهم المهنية. It can be useful to do more than one job in your career because you can have new and learn new things. What you learn in one job can be useful in the next job. يبقى new experiences. خبرات. Someone who has worked as a scientist would make a good science teacher. Would make سيصبح. Lawyers would perhaps make a good politician because they knew the law well. A person who has been a would make a good policeman or policewoman. Someone who was a good soldier. A person who has been a sports player would make a good of a sports team. Manager. Someone who has worked as a travel agent or tour guide. نيجي بقى للجرامر. طبعا الفوكاب بيعتمد بنسبة 99% إن حضرتك حافظ كلمات كويس بتشغل دماغك في الفرق بين الكلمة والتانية. الجرامر بيعتمد على إن حضرتك فاكر كويس أوي إن إحنا بنبص على زمن الجملة نعرف الجملة أكتف ولا باسف بندور على إشارة. I used to write short stories now write لما كان فيها بناو ب doesn't now. He doesn't write now. حق usually from 9 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon كان عن شخص توفاه الله يبقى الجملة past simple root. The writer use a computer for writing. use مصدر hadn't و hasn't تاخد تصريف تالت isn't تاخد ing أو تصريف تالت يبقى doesn't. Last year the writer a story because his friends didn't like the end of the story. Change it. I first stories and poems when I was at primary school. First by default تبقى بس simple يبقى كده نختار برافو روت. When I was 7 I wrote a poem which won a prize. I was finishing one story I was planning the next one. Why? As soon as I had finished the story, I started the next one. I changed my last novel 6 times before I was happy with it. I sat down and did my work when I had opened the windows. When here means when جاي وراها past perfect زي after ولا before فكر دقيقة برافو after. I returned home when mother was preparing lunch حرفين متقاطعين. when هنا here means while عشان بتساوي while في المعنى. طب ما تنفع as برافو عليك يبقى تنفع D A and C يبقى لازم ما نروحش الإجابة بعينها. أول ما تقرا وين هتلاقي while هتختارها. طب ما في as دي نفس المعنى لازم نقرا الأربع اختيارات. خلي بالك عشان بنحاول نخدعك بأي طريقة. as صح وهل صح إذا الأصح letter D A and C. A famous writer they spoke a year ago. A year ago يبقى wrote. I a book when you phoned me last night. حدث قطع حدث was reading. We need a supermarket before we move to this house. بتكلم في الماضي وعندي before يبقى had lived. نظم عقلك وانت بتجاوب. She it to me while I was reading the newspaper. Give it to me. I any of this book before I read this one. Before I read this one الجملة كده في زمن الماضي I hadn't read عشان before. I didn't answer the phone because I was praying. كنت بصلي في نفس اللحظة. I the police after the accident. حلوة أوي الجملة دي. after بيجي قبلها past simple بعدها past perfect. فلما اختار غالبا telephoned I had seen هي الأصح. had telephoned لأ. have telephoned أكيد لأ دي مش مدارة. was telephoned لأ يبقى هي I telephoned the police after I had seen the accident. By the time Nada arrived, past simple past perfect we had lunch so there was nothing for her to eat. had. I just finished doing the exercise when my father returned home. جملة في الزمن الماضي had just finished. Just لو جملة مضارع تبقى present perfect. لو جملة ماضي تبقى مع ال past perfect. While I football I fell and broke my leg was playing. تعال نروح على نجوى بلاتفورم تديني شكل جديد للأسئلة. Which tense is being used in the example? When I went on holiday I ate out with spicy food. أكيد past simple. بيسألني أنا فاهم أزمنة ولا لأ. Which tense is being used in this example? Did a mosquito bite you? برضه past simple. Which tense is being used in this example? Karim didn't stay in the hotel on holiday. أكيد past simple. Which tense is being used in this example? I wasn't cycling to the beach. Past continuous. Well, fill in the blanks. During اللي بيجي وراها noun. Night I up because someone laughing really loudly. Laughing يعني لازم نحط verb to be. Someone was laughing. أدي was أهي وأدي was أهي. لما أجي أفكر هستبعد B وهستبعد D. During last night I waking up لا غلط. During last night أو during the night I woke up because someone was laughing. دي اللي صح. letter C. فكر شوية استبعد الأخطاء. استبعد الحاجات اللي فيها أخطاء. When she the ancient temple some tourists pictures. حدثين متقاطعين بس simple بس continuous. يبقى entered were taking letter D. طبعا خلي بالك النوع ده من الجمل ممكن يجي قطع ممكن يجي. هما بيعودونا على شكل جديد للأسئلة. While they to Portugal some dolphins alongside the boat. يبقى حدث كان مستمر وحدث قطع. يبقى we're sailing we swam. أهي we're sailing we swam. بالعقل فكر قبل ما تختار. During بيجي وراها noun I worked as volunteerists and helped rebuild walls. During holidaying ملهاش معنى. During my summer holiday احتمال كبير. Visited India ملهاش معنى. Visiting India يبقى letter B. Fill in the blank just as I beautiful building. A lot of tourists passed. Just as يجي bus continues. يبقى was taking أو was photographing. أي was photographing building a lot of tourists walked. برافو. as they حطيت لي إشارة as وراها bus continues يبقى we're listening أكيد. To the tour guide someone their money. We're listening story. Very good. George about the song until بيجي وراها bus perfect ها. It on the TV show last night. طيب هنا جايب لي نو من الأفعال المعكوسة يعني لازم يجيب past perfect عن past simple يبقى hadn't known until he heard. I could send you a postcard from Portugal last month because your address before I there for holiday. Before قبلها past perfect had lost before I went there. After my grandparents, we by the burger restaurant to eat lunch. After we had visited my grandparents, we stopped. The past continuous tense is used to the ترى express continuous ongoing action which took place in the past ده احتمال كبير. Refer to a non-continuous action. in the past. done continuous دي أكيد غلط. refer to a continuous ongoing action in the past which was already completed by the time another action in the past took place دي برضه غلط. حدث حصل وبعديه حدث تاني، لا ده الباست perfect. an action situation started in the past and continues in the present أكيد غلط. يبقى ما عندناش صح غير letter A، هي دي اللي هنضطر نعتمد عليها. نوعية الأسئلة شكلها جديد طبعا محتاجة مننا قدر كبير جدا من التركيز، وإن واحنا بنحل يبقى عندنا في وسط راسنا هو ده شكل الامتحان. طب تعالوا نشوف unit 2. How many authors of children books can you name؟ تقدر تطلق أو تعرف أساميهم. Who was your favorite of a children books when you were younger؟ أكيد author. أبي طالب يوسف graduated واتفقنا graduate from the verb. أكيد university. أبي طالب يوسف نويلة رشاد married. الراجل توفاه الله في الحدث في الماضي. ما ينفعش يبقى جبت married ولا is married، وفي كلتا الحالتين الاتنين بياخدوا to. عبد الطيب يوسف started writing children's stories for write for يكتب من أجل جريدة أو مجلة. عبد الطيب يوسف at the University of Ohio in the United States lectured. عبد الطيب يوسف lectured at the University of Ohio in the United States about writing for children and the importance of the teacher. حلو، احنا بنقول Arabic literature. برافو. Arabic language. The word means talk to a group of people about a subject. Chatted. The word importance means the quality of being important. Abu Tawab Yusuf books have children for many years, influenced. A politician is responsible for the people he or she represents and sometimes for making new rules. إصدار قوانين جديدة. A secretary is responsible for writing emails, answering phone calls, and making for a business organization. Making arrangement بترتب. A teacher is responsible for teaching students and also for in a classroom disciplining. A writer is responsible for interesting facts or telling interesting stories to his or her children. Giving interesting facts. Give a fact. In what ways is a teacher like the of the earth, layers of the earth, طبقات التربة. Whatever level you can dig deeper to find more layers that are even richer than before. Reach a level. This means that a teacher can always find new things to and to teach to their students. Experience. يواجه أو يختبر. I give myself goals and plan how to them, achieve them. The word fatherly means typical of a kind or father. ونقول concerned father. The verb means think about something you want to do and how you will do it. Why did the teacher think the young teacher didn't need to worry? Head teacher. He didn't need to worry because he had all there to be a good teacher. Qualities. How does the young teacher his lesson plan? My teacher himself the goals and the plans how to achieve them. ترى gives ولا sets ولا both A and P or neither A nor B. Give himself the goals. ليه يا مستر sets goals for himself. Why does the teacher think the student shouldn't be silenced? Students shouldn't be silenced because the teacher wants them to communicate and take part in conversations. محادثات. خلي بالك عشان في كلمة قريبة منها اسمها conservations إنها تتلخبط. What does the teacher not to do? Word letter A. Why do you think that the teacher wants to the way to the students sit? Change. If there is a, he wants the students to sit in a circle or semicircle. If there is a discussion. In what ways does the teacher think he is like society's engineer? The teacher is like the society engineer because he is helping to build it. The teacher plans and then uses steps. Introduction. The teacher warns him not to his student. Spoil. Should students always be to communicate in class? Encouraged. Are there any lessons that you could have under the trees? Outside. What do you think makes a job worthwhile? Staff have been working without pay. The teacher a plan for the lesson. Make a plan. مش هسمع give the plan. ولا put a plan for the lesson. لا make a plan for the lesson. 30D 39. The in my legs is getting better since I have rested. خلي بالك هنا since معناها لأن ها مش منذ. The ache. I ran 10 kilometers and now my legs ache. The word ache here is a verb طبعا. We have a note after this English lesson. A break. To make this cake you must break 2 eggs. Call me on the phone and we can have a chat. The two friends hadn't seen each other for a long time and they chatted for hours. The word chatted here means discussed. There is a big demand for. The teacher that they stopped talking. Recommended ولا demanded؟ فكر بالعقل. طبعا pretend responded بعيد قوي. recommend they stop. برافو عليك عشان احنا قلنا recommend يجرى الفعل في المصدر لازم يبقى demanded. دي الجمل بقى اللي احنا لازم نخاف منها شوية. The baby has a beautiful face. The word beautiful means handsome. I can't walking home in this hot weather. I can't face مش هستطيع أن أتحمل. A survey among older people that you know and write your results. Conduct a survey. طيب تعالوا نشوف كده مع بعض الجمل اللي جاية دي. Many people are reading the books of عبد التواب يوسف have grown up. ينشأ على. She has a book about why the writer became so successful. She has written. I have finished one of the books called My Father, an Egyptian Teacher. I have just. Since Igara was simple since he became. His books, children for many years, have influenced. It's 2 weeks since we last met. This is the most interesting book I have ever read. برافو. دي جملة محفوظة مقارنة. Oh, I my passport. لسه مضيع الباسبور حالا have lost. Taylor, a lot of health problems since he started living in the polluted city. Has had. Present perfect. Adil hasn't contacted me since he Cairo. Left. I have been to the zoo before. I have never. My cousin abroad since his childhood. Has lived abroad. Bilal is not here. He has. راح ولسه ما جاش gone. You read that book that my cousin recommended? Have you read? Yes, I have just finished it. I the story yet haven't finished. You have been very busy since you began working for the charity. Began since was December. Yes, the people in the charity meet to work there 3 nights a week. أكيد have asked عشان جملة active. Are asked passive were asked passive has asked ما تجيش مع people. Have you agreed? I hope to more time to read books at the weekend. To have. hope بيجرى المصدر. hope to المصدر. Nothing like this has ever happened to me. I haven't met my best friend yet. I finished my work yet. Haven't finished. We haven't traveled by train for years. The ache in my legs is getting better since I خلي بالك بقى عشان هنا since خداع لأني هنا present simple since I have rested. I reading on Saturday but I busy since then. since then قبلها present perfect يبقى لازم الاختيار التاني يبقى present perfect اللي هو have been هنا أو هنا أو letter B started عشان بس simple. طب نخلي بالنا كده من الأسئلة بتاعت نجوى بلاتفورم. Read the question below which tense is being used. Has Jacob read the book yet? Present perfect simple. Read the sentence below which tense is being used. Many people have grown up reading the books of Abdul Tawwab Yusuf. Present perfect simple. Read the sentence below which tense is being used. His books have influenced children for many years. Present perfect simple. Read the example below. I bought a newspaper. Past simple. Fill in the blanks. I have spent my pocket money. It's only been 2 weeks. My birthday. I have yet ما تنفعش بداية وأعتقد اللي تحتيها برضو باينة مفيش حاجة اسمها I have for فدولت مستبعدين. نروح دي it's no word needed ممكن already it's only 2 weeks already my birthday ملهاش معنى لكن I have already spent my pocket money it's only been 2 weeks since my birthday. برافو. Fill in the blanks. Have you decided you will go to pick up the shopping Mr. Miller Mrs. Miller. Have you decided since لأ since you will ما يجيش أصلا واللي بعدها أكيد نفس السبب. during you will مفيش مع during وراها noun يبقى when you will go pick up the shopping for Mrs. Miller. which of the following has a mistake. هنا بقى الجمل معكوسة في غلطة عايزين نطلعها في جملة فيها غلطة ودي اللي احنا عايزينها. Charlie listened to her children's advice her teacher's advice when he told her to work hard. أكيد الجملة دي صح مش هختار. Charlie listened to her teacher's advice about working hard صح. Over the years Charlotte has listened carefully to her teacher صح برضه. طيب نروح اللي بعدها كده. Charlotte has listened to her teacher's advice when he told her to work hard. اقفش في غلطة. هنا المفروض تبقى since عشان دي present perfect فدي الجملة اللي فيها غلطة ودي اللي احنا هنختارها. Which of the following has a mistake. نفس الفكرة. I didn't meet my best friend yet. I haven't meet my best friend yet. I didn't meet my best friend yesterday. Yesterday I didn't meet my best friend. طبعا number 1 صح. yet ممكن تيجي مع الباست simple. الغلط هنا في letter B عشان I haven't meet المفروض I haven't met. Which of the following has a mistake. We haven't traveled by train since years. هو بداية هي 4 years فغالبا هي الجملة دي بس نتأكد. We haven't traveled by train for years صح. We didn't travel by train years ago صح. We haven't traveled by train for years. We have traveled by train for years برضه صح. يبقى letter A. Which of the following sentence is true. They lived in Luxor since لا دي غلط عشان since قبلها present perfect. They live in Luxor for غلط برضه they live in Luxor since برضه غلط. They have lived in Luxor since 2015 دي صح present perfect. Which of the following sentence is true. I can't phone my parents because I have lost my phone. الجملة دي منطقية. I can't phone my parents because I will lose لا طبعا لسه هفقد الموبايل. I couldn't phone my parents because I lose لا غلط بسط على present. I couldn't phone my parents because I have lost my phone. الجملة هنا ماضي كانت تبقى had lost فبالتالي هي letter A. طيب Dr. Aisha's mother encouraged to المصدر to go. Florence Nightingale is a nurse who new ways of nursing introduced. Annie Johnson is a pilot who broke world record for solo flights. Dr. Aisha wrote in the newspaper الأهرام. Dr. Aisha was a government inspector. Dr. Aisha in universities in different countries. Toot. Dr. Aisha died at the age. Dr. Aisha spent most of her life uh, spent most of her life huh, for her work. صح. It, uh, it was good that she spent her life doing the things she was most interested in and helping and other people, inspiring. It may not have been good for Dr. Aisha's life because she wouldn't have had much time to spend with family and friends. Personal, الشخصية. Aisha's mother encouraged her daughter to get a good education. The verb get means have. I got an email from my best friend or my friend this morning. The verb got means had. هنا المعاني المختلفة لكلمة get. We got a new TV from the shops اللي هي bought. How are you getting home this evening? The verb getting means الوصول إلى مكان. travel ده معناه يصل إلى مكان traveling. 15 really it's getting very hot outside. The verb getting means it's getting very hot outside. The verb getting means becoming. برافو. Becoming. Dr. Aisha Abdurrahman who is known as بنت الشاطئ known دايما بتاعت حرف الجر as famous for well known to people popular with. Dr. Aisha used to go with her father to at which قلنا دي عدت علينا كتير meetings. She went to Cairo University where she studied Arabic language and literature. Dr. Aisha wrote many books and articles in which she argued a more positive role for women for her work, which took up much of her personal life, is still today appreciated. Florence Nightingale is remembered two reasons. What are they remembered for? Florence Nightingale was asked to be in charge of wounded surgery abroad. She opened the first school of nursing. In charge of has the same meaning as chief, مسؤول عن. In 1933, Lutfia Nadi became famous when she flew solo from Cairo to Alexandria. The word solo is antonym of the word accompanied مع صحبة. In 1944, Linda Masoud became the first woman teacher at the flying school. Florence Nightingale's parents didn't want their daughter to be a nurse, as they didn't think it was a suitable job. Why was Florence Nightingale asked to be charge of nursing soldiers abroad in? Florence Nightingale was asked to nurse soldiers abroad because her work in London was so effective. After returning from Europe, Florence Nightingale opened the Nightingale School of Nursing. Why did Lutfia Nadi work as a secretary? To pay her flying lessons. To pay for. How did Lutfia Nadi become famous? She was only the second woman ever solo from Cairo to Alexandria. She was the only second woman ever to fly. First, second, third دي جراته المصدر. لطفية النادي's encouraged other women to have career in flying achievements. What was special about Florence Nightingale Nursing School? It was the first of its kind. الأولى من نوعها. X هنا أداة ملكية لغير العاقل. When Lutfia Nadi was only 26, she became the first woman in Egypt to have a pilot's license. Why do you think Florence Nightingale family thought that nursing was not a suitable job for their daughter? أكيد suitable for their daughter. Many women didn't work at that time, so any work was considered unsuitable. A job working with people who were ill and often very ill, especially خاصة. I think that if Nadi wanted to become a pilot, she probably thought that it would be exciting. The opposite of exciting can be made by adding uh, العكس بتاع كلمة exciting unexciting. Why do you think that other women wanted a similar career similar تحت حرف الجر to other women wanted a similar career to Lutfi Nadi because she realized that it was possible for women to have an interesting career in flying. The people who want to become nurses, care and help others, care for. What do you think hospitals were like when Florence Nightingale started work? They were probably not very clean and they were very crowded. Do you think there are some jobs that only men or only women should do? The word only here means especially. Today women can do any job. 50 years ago, some women found jobs as teachers, secretaries, or nurses, but it was harder for them to find work. Almost. What jobs can women today that they could do 50 years ago do jobs? Some jobs are very need a lot of strength. For example, road workers. Perhaps these jobs are better for men. أكيد physical. Can you think of other women who have worked hard for their or their countries, communities, our community? What makes you happy or about doing something enthusiastic about? They can get a really good job when they finish studying. I just found out that he did very well in the exam, do well. He is a new sport new next week karate. He is starting. He has just been at Cairo University accepted عشان الجملة باسف. Adil is my friend whose brother. Have you seen the verb يبقى أكيد what I bought from London. Alexandria وعندي هنا is يبقى which is مينفعش where. He made a bad mistake which he had to apologize. وده بتاعت حرف الجر for يبقى أكيد هنتوقع for which. Dr. Aisha father was an important man whose father. Dr. Aisha wrote many articles in which رنيم الوليلي who was born في عندي كوما مينفعش ذات رنيم الوليلي who is a famous رنيم الوليلي won a competition in 2015 which made her الحدث ده جعلها the number one women's squash player in the world. What other jobs are there? You have to look after other people, doctors, career teachers, dentists. In which my mother works for a company that makes computer. آه هنا حاطط لي that وبيسألني هل الجملة هنا defining non-defining both of them neither of them. defining يعني جملة أساسية والجملة الأساسية مبيبقاش فيها two commas، فطبعا دي جملة أساسية. non-defining اللي بتتحط ما بين two commas، هنا تبقى defining. The eye which is one of the five senses organs أهي two commas زي الجملة الاعتراضية، دي بنسميها non-defining. Dr. Aisha Abdurrahman, who is known as Bint al-Shati, is one of the most famous people in Egyptian and Arab culture. أدام في two commas يبقى non-defining. Her work, which took up much of her personal life, is still appreciated, non-defining. I can't remember the reason. He wanted us to leave. The reason why. Dr. Aisha was born in Damietta in 1913. Dr. Aisha's father was an important man to join the two sentences, which is one is true. Dr. Aisha, whose father طبعا لا غلط، who is father دي غلط، who has the father غلط. Father was an important man لا، whose father was an important man letter دي صح. We use which or that as a relative pronoun. They refer back to noun or a verb. لا which ما ينفعش يجي قبلها verb. Verb or sentence which يتعود على sentence ما يتعودش على verb. Noun or a sentence adjective or adverb هي letter C. Noun or sentence. The coach changes the time. The coach changes the time. The players had to get up. Time when مفيش when يبقى at which الساعة اللي بيصحوا فيها at which. The reporter from the hospital said a study following a group of 354 girls found those were fatter at the age of 3 and gained weight during the next 3 years reached puberty at the age of 9. طيب عايزين نختار حاجتين. those عايدة على العاقل فمينفعش which تبقى أول واحدة which دي غلط. في كوما فمينفعش that. جملة أساسية فمينفعش فيها. The reporter from the hospital said a study following a group of 300 girls found those who were fatter at the age of 3 and who gained مينفعش who which هنا يبقى who و that. طب مستر ما هو that و whom بيجي وراها جملة ميجيش وراها verb مينفعش whom gained. Dickens held the mirror to nature and of its reflected fragments composing a fresh world. The men and women differ from real people only in they live in literary medium. شكل الجملة يخض أوي. طيب نقرا الجملة كده مع بعض. Dickens held the mirror to nature and of its reflected fragments composing a fresh world. world ده مكان أكيد هنحتاج where. The men and women differ from real people only in they live in a literary medium. in وعندي حرف جر يبقى in which يبقى معندناش غير where which. اختار ايه. I belong to a reading club. Most members are retired teachers. Most of whose members عشان دي ملكية. The relative pronoun who refers back to people. The relative pronoun when referred back to time. The relative pronoun when refers back to time. The relative pronoun that refers back to things. Which sentence is correct? Marie Curie is the woman who she discovered radium غلط. Marie Curie is the woman who discovered radium الجملة دي تبدو صحيحة. Marie Curie is the woman who is discovered radium غلط. Marie Curie is the woman discovered radium محطش who مينفعش نحذفها يبقى هي letter B. The children who were having a wonderful time didn't want to go home. didn't surprise me which عايد على الجملة نفسها. Which sentence is correct? رنيم الوليلي is a famous squash player. poor. رنيم الوليلي whose was غلط أصلا مفيش حاجة اسمها whose was دي. رنيم الوليلي who born غلط لازم who was born. أيوة آخر جملة صح. رنيم الوليلي who was born 1989 is a famous squash player. Which sentence is correct? That is the book is a bestseller. That is the book which is being a bestseller. That is the book what is a bestseller. That's the book where is a bestseller. في غلطة ما. That is the book is a bestseller. لا لازم the book which is فالجملة دي غلط. That is the book which is being a bestseller. الجملة دي صح. دلوقتي يعتبر أكثر الكتب تحقيقا للمبيعات. Which sentence is correct? That is the stadium which we saw the cup final. At which we saw the cup final. There's the stadium at where مفيش حاجة اسمها at where يبقى letter E غلط letter C غلط letter B هي اللي تبدو إنها صحيحة بس لازم نكمل للآخر. There's the stadium where we saw the cup final ما ينفعش نحط at يبقى letter D كمان غلط يبقى احنا كده نختار letter B. At which equal where. نخش على need for which words rhyme with slow. So A is a group of lines that form part of a poem. Stanza. Most of her poems were published. Many modern poems don't follow the rules. Emily Dickinson's poems weren't very, they were very different to most poems at that time, traditional. Emily Dickinson's publisher her poems so they were easier to read. Changed. غير من طريقة القصائد نفسها لكي تصبح أكثر سهولة. Emily Dickinson didn't like to wear colorful clothes. She always wore white clothes. She spent a lot of her time spending ing traveling. I could stop one person from feeling sad, then my life will be meaningful to me. لها معنى. Claire's favorite is called If I Can Stop. Favorite poem. The expression the rules means didn't follow the usual rules. Broke. Broke my means made me very unhappy. Broke my heart. Break the means to do something that's illegal. Break the rules. Broke a knot means something or someone did something better than anyone else. Break a record. A promise don't do what you have promised to do. Break a promise. Poems can be about any subject, but subjects are love, life, death, and nature, common. If I could help someone who is feeling weak get somewhere safe, then my life will be meaningful. Get to يصل إلى. If I could help the Robin, fainting Robin, مغمى عليه. To means to write or say something in a shorter, simpler way. Shorter, simpler. Shorter, simpler. يبقى summarize. If I could stop one person from feeling sad or help someone who is feeling ill, then my life will be I will have more to me. Meaningful. مفيش have will be more. Your has meaning if you can help people. Your life. No one is useless in this world who lightens the burdens. The best and the most beautiful things in the world can't be seen or even touched. What can you do in your life to the advice in the poem follow? Some of the people must have been ill or had a difficult time because she wants to ease their pain. People need help in life when they are ill or have problems. The people they love, with the people they love, have a problem with. To help people's lives better, make. What can we learn about Emily Dickinson's character? We learn that she wants to help people, that she is kind. The word kind means thoughtful. I am always at 6 o'clock, it's my habit. I am always awake, ببقى يقظ. That 500 old trees still living. 500 year. عشان قال لي هنرجع للجملة كده. That 5 old tree is still living. 500 year ما ينفعش نقول 500 years. We walked along بمحاذاة. The boat went slowly because there were rocks ahead. He thinks the poem is about the sun going down. Poems usually have 3 or more verses and in every verse عشان مفرد. They may have no words that rhyme or words that partially rhyme يبقى either. When she was a child she was good at writing and playing both. She spent nearly them مع all her life. Almost half, about half. She spent about of her time writing poems. Half. About almost مع half. She preferred to write long letters to each friend. Two men wanted to marry her, but she accepted neither. I don't like either of these shirts. I need to be good at both. Engineer in the factory was given separate job. اتفقنا ادام في separate يبقى each على طول. each عبارة عن حد مفرد. The students in my class speak English very well. Students جمع يبقى all. We use each and every to talk about divided group, the whole group, pairs of people or things, the member of a group or individual. طبعا لما نيجي نفكر بالعقل the members of a group as individuals. We use all to talk about the whole group, the divided group, طبعا the whole group. We use have to talk about a divided group ولا the whole group, pairs of people or things. Pairs دي المثنى يبقى divided group. We use both and either and neither to talk about pairs مثنى. Or refers to 3 or more items. Either is used to talk about one of two people or things. Either is used to talk about one of the two people or things. هي محلولة لتربيه. Which sentence is false? I have read every one of those books. He plays football every Saturday. في واحدة فيها غلطة. Every third morning John goes jogging. I have read every of those books. طبعا في جملة فيها غلطة. Letter C. Every third morning مفيش حاجة اسمها every third morning. All of the following sentences are true except يعني في واحدة فيها غلطة. Neither men are wearing a tie. neither ما بتاخدش are بتاخد is فغالبا هي دي. Neither of those men is wearing a tie صح. Either dog would make a good pet صح. You can pick either dog to take home صح. هي letter E اللي غلط. All of the following sentences are true except يعني برضه عندي جملة فيها غلط. Either of my dresses are good. Either بتاخد is فدي فيها غلطة. طيب either of us can get the key صح. Neither of my dresses will do صح. Neither of us will be on time صح. They didn't watch TV last night. Neither did I ولا أنا كمان. Neither في أول الكلام يجي وراها did I ولا أنا كمان. Swimming and water skiing are both aquatic sports كلاهما. She had reason to be satisfied. or reason مع كل الحق. reason هنا غير معلولة مش جاية بمعنى سبب. I go to evening classes every 2 days برافو عشان دي فترة زمنية. She can't swim and I can't جملة منفية either. Each new day. I enjoy moment I spend with you. Each moment. Each of the moments. They been invited. They each have عشان اتفقنا ان each تيجي ورا ضمائر الجمع. You are each right in the same way. Each of you are right in the same way and be neither A nor B. طيب ناخدها واحدة واحدة. هي you each are ما تنفعش you are each. Each of you is ما تنفعش are يبقى الاتنين غلط يبقى neither A nor B. We each think زي ما اتفقنا each بتيجي ورا ضمائر الجمع. We each think the same.